You've probably heard this 1,000 times. Learn price action. But nobody tells you what price action actually means. Most traders zoom into candlestick patterns, engulfing, pin bars, dojis. But they miss the one thing that gives those candles real meaning, which is context. Today, I will show you the one price action tip that 95% of traders never use properly. And it's the reason why so many fail, even when they think they are trading clean charts. Hi there, if you don't know me yet, I'm Kojak's Pro, a trader, and I've been at this game for over 3.5 years. My earlier trading days were chaotic. I had no style, I had no plan, I had no pattern. I lost so many trades, I blew so many accounts. I was jumping in and out of trades like I was changing clothes. I'm way better now and I'm taking better trades, having better setups, and making real money. But it wasn't always like this. And the real reason it all changed for me was because of understanding price action. You'll be trading blindly. You will not know exactly what you're doing, you don't know how to confidently enter into trades if you don't understand price action. Price action is like the meat of forex trading. If you know it and understand it, you're off to the races, like literally. And in this video, I will show you the one trick that will change how you see the markets and enable you to use price action to your advantage as a trader. If you are new to the channel, subscribe. Now let's get into the video. When I finally got this concept, it changed how I look at every trade setup. It's not about the candle. It's not even about the pattern. It's about what happened before that candle and why it happened. Because price isn't just a number moving up and down. It's a story. It's a battle. And if you only read the last sentence, you will never understand the plot. Here's what most traders do wrong. They see a bullish engulfing candle and go long. They see a pin bar at support and jump in. But they don't ask, what did price do before this candle? Is this area significant or random? Is this move a reaction or a trap? That's why so many trades look perfect and then fail. Like this is the case of a trade failing due to context. In this case, there's a trend that saw this candlestick and this price action to the upside. And right about there, we can see that we have an evening star pattern from there. Now, the evening star pattern tends to see price to the downside. And then if you're a trader and you just based off this, you decide to take a trade. You put your stop loss above the pattern. You now aim for a 1:3 at most, or at least to the next support area down, like so. And then you take a trade. Now, if you took this trade in this way, based off that alone, you can see right here that you would have lost out on this trade and you would have been stopped out. Now, why didn't an evening star pattern work in this context? It's because you've not attached the real story that you are meant to do as a trader into it. So in this case, there is no build-up, there is no liquidity grab, and there is no trend exhaustion. Here is the price action tip you need to master. A candlestick only matters if it makes sense in the story of price. Don't just look for patterns, learn to read intention. Did this candle trap break out traders? Did it fake out retail before reversing? Was there a liquidity sweep or engineered stop loss run, also known as market manipulation? That's how you start predicting moves, not reacting to them. Think of price like a movie. If you only watch one scene, it won't make sense. But if you understand the characters, the conflict, the goal, then you know where it's heading. Let me show you what this looks like on a real chart. So in the case of CAD CHF here, you can see clearly that in the context of understanding price, we are heading to the downside. So this trend is bearish. Now, as you've understood that as a trader that the trend is bearish, what next do you need to do? You need to outline your support and your key zones. So we've got some key zones marked out here. So this is the first key zone, and then this line you can see here is the next minor key zone. Now, let me show you exactly what happened here. When price came all the way down here, like so, and then came back to this place. So the price moves in oscillations. So the first wave has formed. Now, a pullback wave, which is the back to a key zone, in this case a minor key zone, causes price to react around that area. So if we look at this region right about here, we can see that technically this wasn't the first reaction, because this first pullback here was as a result of this minor key level here. So there was a support area that was broken that now turned resistance. So that's why price actually reacted from here. So it doesn't count. But this is the first one that counts. So this is the first one. And I'll mark this as the first reaction that has happened here. Now, this is the first reaction that has happened here. Mind you, in the past, we've had a reaction right about that area as well. So I'll still put it technically that that was actually the second reaction. That being the first reaction. So this being the first reaction, this being the second reaction. Now watch exactly what happens now. So in the context of price, you'll see now that the trend is bearish. We've had a resistance zone that is seeming to hold price. Now, if we use our counter trend line, like you guys know how we usually love to trade, you see that the counter trend now was broken. We are good to go. And then if we go about using a fib, so if we use our Fibonacci tool to gauge price, you can see that from swing high to swing low, that area still corresponds with the 50 Fibonacci area right here, which is the 50 Fibonacci area, this entire golden area. Now, if you take a trade based off this alone, there is no price action. There is no candlestick pattern to enter into trade. This is just a setup I love to trade, and that's fine. If you chose not to take this setup, that's okay. But what exactly what happened here? So price actually, after reacting off this zone, price actually came to the downside and came back to this zone right about there at the top there. So let me just zoom this out and see what exactly happened here. So in this case, you can see now that price now created or printed on the chart what most traders love to see. What is this, guys? This is so just take this off. So this is a bearish engulfing candlestick off that support zone, and this happens to be the third reaction on that zone. Amazing. If you now decide to take a trade here and aim for a risk to reward of 1:3, you can see that you must have gotten so much handsome profits. I'm just going to put it here. So if you did this and aim for risk to reward of 1:3 at most, you can see that the market would have given you that easily. It even gave far more than that, but you would have gotten a real reward on this trade. Why? Because you understood the candlestick pattern based on context. There was rejection, there was a bias, which is the story traders love to have in their pocket to be able to gauge the direction of the market they want to take their trades on. Understand? And then there have been reactions of key levels and setups formed around those key areas. Simple. That's how to use candlesticks. So in this case, we have seen a bearish engulfing candlestick of a major resistance area, all in the storyline of a bearish trend and within a setup plan. Notice how this wasn't just about the candle, but was about the sequence, the build-up, the trap, which is the pullback twice at that key zone, and then eventually the reversal. Now, how do you get better at this? Here's how I train this skill and how you can too. 1. Choose a pair and mark out key support and resistance zones. 2. Watch what price does as it approaches the zone and not just what candle forms. 3. Ask yourself, who is in pain here? Where is the trap? 4. Use bar replay mode and narrate the story out loud. This feature is good and awesome for backtesting and backtesting strategies and backtesting setups. If you don't know how to do this, TradingView offers this kind of setup. I've talked about this in my previous video. You can actually head on to www.tradingview.com and start an account with them and enable this feature. If you want to get the best of the features, go over to the Pro plan and go about your trading seamlessly. And in case you want to go about that, I have a link in the description whereby you can join TradingView Pro and begin to trade like a professional. The more you do this, the faster your brain learns to read structure, intention, and momentum in real time. Candles without context are just noise. But when you combine structure, traps, and market psychology, that's when price action becomes powerful. If this helped shift how you think about charts, drop a comment for me below. And if you want to learn more about mastering clean chart trading, download the Clean Chart Confidence Guide, link in the description. It's free. Don't chase the market, or read it. See you in my next video.